The mountains that you see behind me are called the Outeniqua Mountains, and that translates from the original Khoi language as the land of wood and honey. The reason that these mountains are so important is that they form one of our water source areas. There are 22 water source areas in South Africa that make up about 8% of our landmass, but those areas provide about 50% of our water, and that's why we focus on these areas when it comes to managing our water resources. The Outeniqua water source area provides water to the town of George, and it also provides a lot of water that flows inland into the Karoo, where it feeds a lot of agriculture and it feeds the town of Oudtshoorn.
Warmerskraal Valley in the Southern Cape is the only area in South Africa where we grow hops for the production of beer.
The drought is a severe drought. People that's been here for generations have said that it's probably the worst drought in the last 100 years that they've seen.
There were no water in many of the dams, and also even the tree species like the pine, some of them is busy dying.
Last year's hop crop was really down. There are not many big dams in the valley, so water storage is a problem. And if the water is not flowing, it becomes an issue with any crop that's grown in the area. So we are looking at changing our irrigation methods and actually measuring water usage by the plants in the soil. If we can keep the catchment clean, it means a lot more water is released. These invasive species have been a big problem over the years. Blue gum, pine, wattle, heckia.
The reason they're such a huge issue is that they suck up a lot more water than indigenous vegetation. And they've estimated that about 5% of the water that falls in this area actually gets sucked up by alien trees. Now, water is a shared resource, and that's why you need to manage water as a collective. You can't really manage it as individuals. And that's what WWF tries to do. We try to bring together all the different players that have an interest in water. The municipalities, the farmers, the towns downstream, the communities, so that they can talk about our water resources and manage them for the good of everyone. WWF has been active in this area for about 4 years, clearing alien vegetation. And we've been supported by the Department of Environmental Affairs, their land user incentive scheme. But private companies have also come on board. South African breweries and Sanlam have provided a lot of funding and helped us continue this project.
We have contractors who do invasive clearing work on landowners' properties. Invasive vegetation we cut down around this area is mostly pine, black wattle and blackwood.
We've cleared about 850 hectares, and that equates to releasing about 1 billion liters of water back into the system.
People that was employed in the last 2 years is around about 120 people.
And that's 20,000 days of employment for the local population. This wood has a lot of potential value, and it can be used for all sorts of purposes. So we decided to take this heating unit and install it at the local school.
Winter, it's really cold here.
It's very cold in the classrooms.
We try to accommodate the kids with some blankets. We got sponsored with some blankets.
And basically this heating unit pumps hot air into the classrooms and warms the classrooms up, making sure that the kids have a nice environment to learn in. And at the same time, it produces this byproduct, this biochar, which can then enrich the farmers' soils.
It would be the best day of my life if there wasn't a single black wattle or pine growing on this farm.
It really is beautiful to see a landscape being cleared of alien trees and then going back to that landscape in a couple of weeks' time and seeing the indigenous vegetation starting to grow out.
Another thing that I love doing is the job creation, putting food on the table for people. That makes me sleep at night.